Good morning and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about outdoor protection. So with the warmer weather coming in, it's always important to make sure that you're protecting your body against all the elements, everything from the sun to bugs and everything between. So I chose three categories or three things, three protective items, I guess you could say, that are most common that we would use in the summer months. So let's dive right in. So the first one is going to be sunscreen. You're probably thinking, well, duh, doesn't, everyone uses sunscreen. Well, I feel like some people are hesitant to use it because they think they won't, tan, or they think they don't need it. But really, it does protect our bodies against quite a few pretty negative things that can happen if your skin is exposed to the sun's UV rays for extended periods of time. So when choosing a sunscreen, you want to choose a broad spectrum sunscreen that's going to protect against sunburn, skin cancer, and skin aging. So sunscreens that are not broad spectrum will have a warning, or should have a warning on their label that says that it does not protect against these. Make sure that you're getting the broad spectrum sunscreen. Next is you're going to want to make sure it's at least 30 SPF or higher. So the level, the SPF is the level of protection it provides against the sun's UVB rays. So when we talk about an SPF 30, it filters out 97% of the UVB rays. So you're thinking, wow, 30 SPF filters out against 97% of the rays? Yes. And the higher the number goes, obviously the more it's going to filter out, but that percentage is going to increase less, if that makes sense. So an SPF 50 filters out 98% of UVB rays. So you're going up 20 SPF, but you're only filtering out 1 extra percent of the UVB rays. And on top of that, no sunscreen out there is going to filter against 100% of the UVB rays. So if you're in that mindset that, it's not going to make a difference if I wear sunscreen or not, it definitely is. You're going to protect your body and your skin from some pretty negative side effects. When a sunscreen says it's water resistant, that does not mean it's waterproof. Those are two very different meanings. So the sunscreen can resist water for a small amount of time. So you'll want to make sure to reapply every so often if you're going in and out of water or sweating, things like that. I read somewhere that they suggest about every 2 hours to reapply sunscreen, but even more so if you're sweating or swimming. So just make sure you're always protected. It can't hurt to put more sunscreen on, even if you think you might not need to reapply yet. But again, probably one of the most common outdoor protection you can use in the summer is sunscreen. Next up, along the same lines with the sun, we're going to talk about sunglasses. So you should always wear sunglasses during the daylight hours. They protect your eyes against UV rays from the sun, which could otherwise, if long-term exposure happens, could lead to cataracts. I don't say that to scare you, but if you can protect your eyes, why not do so? They also protect against blue light, which can lead to macular degeneration. Again, I don't say that to scare you, just to make you aware of why sunglasses are so important. And then they can also increase vision, especially since, you know, if it's a real sunny day, you might be squinting to see things, so might take away that squinted vision. And you'll also avoid headaches from squinting so much if you are wearing sunglasses and there's not a need to squint. And lastly, it makes adjusting from light to dark easier. So, you know, if you're going from outside to a dark room inside, you're going to have that delay in your vision. But if you're wearing the sunglasses to protect your eyes, that adjustment will be easier. For me, I pretty much always wear sunglasses outside or driving. My eyes are very sensitive to the sunlight, so if I were to not wear sunglasses, I would basically have to close my eyes or squint very heavily to see. So I wear sunglasses pretty much all the time when it's sunny. Lastly, we're going to talk about bug spray. I don't use bug spray as often as I probably should. You know, like most people, don't really like the feel of it or the scent of it, but it really does protect you from like ticks and mosquitoes, things like that. So a couple tips to follow with bug spray is that less is actually more. So you just want to make sure you're applying a thin layer to your exposed skin. And even if you are wearing like long sleeves or pants, spraying those clothes down as well will give you just that extra barrier to the mosquitoes and ticks. And if you're using sunscreen at the same time, say you're playing out in a grassy area and there's some bugs and it's sunny out, you'll want to apply the sunscreen first and then put the bug spray over that. I didn't read too much into why, but I assume it has something to do with the effectiveness of the bug spray. If you mask the scent with the sunscreen, it might not work as well. And then reapplying only when necessary. So most brands offer several hours of protection. So you don't need to apply bug spray so often. And then lastly, when returning indoors, it's highly recommended to wash your sprayed skin with soap and water, just to take all that residue and chemicals off, so that you're not, you know, getting it everywhere, touching your eyes, into your mouth, things like that. So just make sure to really wash your hands and your exposed body parts well to get that residue off. Again, I picked these three because they're probably the most common that we use, especially here in Wisconsin. And with the summer months coming up, you can never be too careful. There's obviously other things you can do for outdoor protection, like, you know, wearing hats to protect your scalp from sunburn, protective clothing. So, you know, they make like I think it's UPV clothing that actually has like a sun barrier in it. I myself have one. It's just a long sleeve, but so I mean, there's lots of outdoor protective gear, but I felt these three were the most common for us. Thanks for tuning in today. Go out and enjoy that sunshine that we have going on today. I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Take care.